Welcome to the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network, where some amazing guests stop in, share their stories, and have a few laughs along the way. From the rodeo road to everyday life, it's all part of the ride. Here's your host, Cody Wood.
Well, welcome back, everybody, to another episode here of the Woodshed with Cody Wood. I've got a big-time guest here today, and Darien Johnson. Darien, he's out of Utah. This is a two-time, Rocky Mountain region champion, a three-time college national finals rodeo qualifier, coming off his rookie year, number 40 bareback rider in the world. Darien, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just grateful for the opportunity and glad to chat with you.
Yeah, man, it's you've got a lot going on right now in life, and it's just a fantastic place to be in life right now. You got a lot of different opportunities and different things and places you can go right now, and kind of can't wait to catch up and get into that a little bit. So kind of like I had mentioned, you've coming off of a really successful college athletic career, and coming right into your rookie season, but there in Southern Idaho, rodeoing up there with Kelly, I believe, for quite some time. Tell us a little bit about your college experience in rodeoing.
Man, yeah, college. I went to college as the College of Southern Idaho for 3 years, and I got the opportunity to go up there. I started kind of in high school going up there, I just wanted to further just bareback riding. I got pretty serious in high school my last 2 years, and then I got to go over there and get on some practice horses and stuff. And Kelly Wardell and Steve Burney Kelly's the assistant and Steve's the head coach up there. And they let me come get on practice with the college team a little bit. So kind of got the feel for it. And I love the atmosphere there. Kelly is one of the biggest role models in my life, and he always will be one of my best friends. And I call him my grandpa because he's 65 years old. But I mean, if he hears me say that, he'll probably kick me because he's a legend in the not just the rodeo world, but just in life and in my eyes. So having him and being able to, I tried to spend as much time as I could with him, just for the not just the rodeo side of things, but like I said, the life he builds in, just a callous mindset of going and working for what you want, and formulating discipline. And when I was there, I mean, you can kind of see who wants it and who doesn't. And that was my biggest thing. Was Kelly took pride in the kids that did want it and would really spend that extra time with the kids that did. And I really fell for a love of the game through him, and being able to, through the trials and tribulations of everything that I went through there. Like, CSI was nothing but good to me, and I would recommend College of Southern Idaho to anybody that would want to pursue a rodeo career, because it really flipped a switch in my head to not just doing this, for high school and stuff. It was cool, but once I got into college, it really just flipped a switch in my head that I was like, man, I could really do this, and I'm gonna put all the chips in. And yeah, it's I could go on for days about how good CSI was to me, and all the things that I learned.
Well, there's a lot to be said right there in that too, man. And it just stands out too, like you said, with Kelly not just being a great staple and one of the greatest bareback riders ever, but for him to instill the joy of discipline, essentially. That right there will carry a young man on for the rest of his life, and allow you to succeed in anything that you do. There's so many different traits, that somebody could have, and different talents and abilities and that sort of thing. But if you don't have that discipline and, like I said, the ability to almost enjoy it and to crave it and that sort of thing, those are the ones that really separate themselves, in any aspect of life, right? Not just rodeo. And I think you could directly see it in a rodeo athlete, black and white, clear as day, year over year, which is really cool about it. But even from like a business sense, and some of these great entrepreneurs that you'll see in the world, that craft of discipline goes a long ways, man. And so that really stands out, just in what you're saying there. And like I said, College of Southern Idaho and Utah, and specifically when you're talking about bareback riding and going back, starting in high school. So you got started in high school riding bareback horses?
I can jump back a little further. It's kind of a longer process. I started out, riding calves and steers and whatever. when my dad kind of came into my life, and the biggest thing that I wanted was a buckle. That was the only thing I wanted. I wanted, like, I started getting on like those, just it was fun, and then I really wanted a buckle. And my dad was like, "Hey, like, there's nobody in this, junior bareback riding. Like, I got an old rigging, like, strap it on, whatever." And that was my like. I mean, I would have been, oh heck, 2016, 2017. So yeah, just a young kid, just I played a lot of sports growing up, and just, I mean, I was kind of athletic, but bareback riding was one of those things that was kind of hard for me. I mean, it's super challenging. Like, it wasn't something I was just good at. And I think pretty much through that, like, that's kind of why I liked it so much. I quit. I stopped getting on steers and bulls and everything my freshman year of high school. And then, yeah, I high school rodeoed, went to nationals 2020, and 2020, like, it was a formidable, like, bareback riding kind of slowly started just taking over all those things. I loved football. Like, my freshman year of high school, played football, and then my sophomore year I just wanted to strictly rodeo, and I was like, yeah, all right, this is it. This is what I'm doing. And then I ended up 20 and 21 my sophomore, or my junior and senior year. I played football again, and I was glad I did, because those are experiences, and I mean, football teaches its own things, and so I was glad that I was able to do that and ended up being captain of the football team, and like middle linebacker playing, and
Yeah.
still rodeo is still number one for me. But I was able to lay the rules down to, like, hey coach, I'm going to be here 1 or 2 days of practice. I'm a rodeo here, and I'll be at the game. Like, so rodeo is always, from that point on, once I got that buckle and was able to, through the junior stuff, I kind of got a feel for it. I went to the junior NFR for 3 years when I was growing up doing the junior rodeo stuff, which was, it was cool. Like, it was a stellar, like, opportunity. Just, I mean, it's just the pony riding. I know it's kind of getting a little bigger as the years go on, but I think when I first went, that was the first year they had kind of started doing it, 2018, 2019. And yeah, kind of, I mean, I had not some luck, but just, like, hanging on to some stuff. And yeah, I mean, I broke my, there was some stuff that went on all throughout that just kind of formulated into, like, really wanting it.
Yeah.
And
Craving it.
that's, yeah, I'll give you, for example, it was 2018. They had started doing the junior NFR. They had started doing like a tour, just kind of like the big
Yeah.
boys in PRCA. They had did do, like, there was 12 rodeos throughout the year, and I had went to all those 12 rodeos, and then I ended up breaking my hand right before the little junior NFR thing, and I was like,
Oh,
man,
dang.
I went to all these. My family, they took me everywhere I needed to go and made it all happen, and I was determined that I was still going to go to this junior NFR and do it. And so for 4 weeks, I got on the spurboard with my other hand and just started doing that, riding left-handed, and got on my first horse with the junior NFR left-handed. And I you can do so much on the ground, but the horse is just totally different. So
Yeah.
I looked like a rag doll, but I got on, qualified, whatever. And that was a big thing for me, is I did it, and came back, and then January got back on with my right hand, and went to I was 14 at the time. Went to a Powder River. They had a buck out deal, and I vividly remember it. It was cold morning. Powder River is, they're a PRCA stock contractor, and it was just a little buck out deal. The only reason I was going there was Caleb Bennett. He was there, and I was gonna have some questions about setting up a rigging. I just coming back off my left hand, so I was getting right back to it with the right hand, and got on. And I mean, just a 14-year-old kid, first one out, and go over the front and break my right hand again. So I broke it twice within, 3 months. And I
Oh,
switched back to my left hand. And then from that point on, I've been left-handed ever since. So
oh, really? I was going to ask that too. Yeah, dang. So, well, I guess it worked out for you. And then
yeah,
just
yeah,
the ability to go through that adversity early on too, and
yeah. Just
you
a
know,
young kid.
yeah, just to be a young kid like that and to qualify for a finals, then have to make that decision on, what to do and to have the wherewithal and the nerve to switch hands, because that is an eerie feeling. I mean, to like you said, you're just basically walking backwards in a sense.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's a lot to learn early on, man. And then, a lot of those names, I mean, just goes to show you that finishing football, honestly, I think that's a true testament to, because obviously you'll never play another snap of football, so might as well get it in. But and then being able to manage that, and then to be able to get with Caleb and try to just absorb whatever you could from him, just instead of rigging. I mean, you could see a trend here in why you've been so successful and they've gotten you to where you're at right now. There's no doubt about that for sure. And when you look at like I said, where you're started from in the bareback riding world and what's coming out of Utah specifically, and not just bareback riding. Obviously, you got the Wright brothers and everything that they've done from bronc riding and clearly Stetson riding bulls, but bareback riding in general from the fields and obviously what Casey's been able to accomplish, and then with Dean and I mean, there is a chunk of you in that Utah, Idaho stretch right there that have really started to come on strong. And just curious if that's a culture that you found yourself in, and that you started to feel, this is this is our country, or we're bareback riding country, or just the ability obviously to follow those before you that had done it the right way, and now it's put you in this successful position. Did you feel any of that growing up in that area?
Yeah, heck yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like, so 2020, so Mason Clements and Casey Field, they traveled together for
Mhm.
a handful of years. And 2023, the year before I graduated, I got to go in, and I mean, I was still finishing school, but I was still just entering pro rodeos just to kind of, just when there wasn't a college rodeo, I was trying to do everything I could just to get a feel for it. And Mason Clemens, he invited me to come travel with him a little bit, and we went to a couple 2023, and then 24 kind of pretty much went majority of the year together, me and Mace. And man, traveling with 32, at the time I'm 20, so it's a whole different way of looking at it with that. He's riding to feed a family, and he has to, and he kind of instilled a lot of good information in my head of like, you format the systems to achieve what you want to do, like do everything, do everything in your system that works. And then when you go to the rodeo, you're just having fun at that point. You're taking care of business.
Yeah.
But yeah, throughout that, like Mason's super close with Casey, so got to go over to Casey's, man, handful of times and go work out with him. Mason, when he went to the NFR in 23 and had a really good year, I got to be with him when he was, training for it, those, 4 weeks out of it. And I'll never forget that. Like that was one of those another click on moment for me. There's been a lot of those little click on, like, this, hell yeah, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah.
This is real. Just the work that was put in those 4 weeks, it was a routine, wake up, work out, swim, buck machine, lunch, get on the buck machine at Casey's, ride, saddle broke courses, bareback, like every day, like no question about it. And just being around that hungry mindset and just all bareback riding every day, like I was like, yeah, this is
Yeah.
it. So yeah,
That's
I mean,
so cool.
I've had the Utah pride is real. I mean, this year, I mean, I've traveled more than I ever have, and I think it's made me like Utah even more. I mean,
Yeah.
people always talk about Texas, which I love Texas, but
Hmm.
man, Utah's home. Utah is, you can't, I come back here and the mountains are here,
Yeah.
and cold weather. Like I can't, I don't know.
I'm
Texas.
with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So no, the Utah pride is real. And yeah, Dino just won the world title last year. Just being surrounded by them guys all this year has been a game changer for me to really see what it takes.
Yeah, and this is really kind of what stands out to me too. Like I said, you're starting to see a pattern, like you just realized, seeing a pattern with yourself, man, and some of this discipline and having a plan and then executing the plan, right? And kind of going back into the systems and things like that you talked about with Mason, and it really just in that short little snip that you sent me about some of your accolades and that sort of thing, to prepare for this, jumped off the page is that you've gone to the wilderness circuit multiple times, and to have the discipline again, and the to not rush the process, right? So here you are, you clearly can ride with the rest of the professional bareback riders of the wilderness circuit and having the success at the college level, but honestly, to watch you go through that process and then to qualify for the Wilderness Circuit Finals, but to still be able to hold off, right, to getting your card and then really hitting it hard this year. I mean, that's a big time testament, man. And so here you are in 2025. This was your first full season on your rookie card. Like I said, traveled more than you ever have. And I mean, you had a lot of success, man. How has the year like treated you? What did you take from it? I mean, what were some of the highs and lows, I guess, of your 2025 season?
Yeah, man, that's a loaded question, and I
Yeah, it's a
love it.
lot. There's a lot in there.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, 2025 this year. I mean, it ends on the 30th, and so it's over. But I think I went to 97 rodeos this year on my
Dang.
rookie card, and I wanted more. I had to in second week of August I tore my meniscus, and so that was a little slow down. But all the way up until then, man, I was healthy, mindset was sharp, I was riding good, and I was blessed to be. I mean, at that point, I was like, man, I'm unbreakable. I've been rodeoing my tail off all year, and I'm healthy and I feel good. And then as soon as you think that, something happens, and so it is what it is. Roll with the punches, and so it kind of got cut a little short. But before that, man, I mean, going to those rodeos, Fort Worth, San Antonio, the kind of winter run, those ones really there wasn't a lot that really got me on that nervous side. Usually I can get my mental, because they say your body can't tell the difference between nervous and excited. That's all in your head. Your body feels the same when you're nervous and excited. So usually I'm just excited, but when I got to those bigger winter rodeos, Austin or whatever it was, is that nervousness kind of came in, and so those jitters got me a little bit, and
Yeah. Well, you
I
had
tried to use
some,
it for fuel.
yeah, for
But
sure. You had some success in Fort Worth, right? You're 86. And I mean, that had to feel good, right?
yeah, I mean, yeah, just knowing that all the night, like I try to formulate systems to become confident when those times come. So
Yeah.
like, just like I said, like when you get there to the rodeo, all the work's already done, and you know that I did everything I could to be here, and I am with the top guys. I am the top guy. Like, I'm
Mhm.
not there to just not there to place. I'm there to win it. Like,
Yeah.
that mindset is what you have to have rodeo, and especially now there's so many good bareback riders in the top 50.
Yeah.
Like, you kind
Really
of,
competitive.
if you're not doing everything that it takes, then you're not going to be on the top. So no, this year's taught me a lot, not just on the rodeo and the physically, but like the mental side of things too, but like how it all kind of works too. I mean, it's big networking, having the right people on your side, going out of your way, just treating other people how you want to be treated. It goes a long ways. Helping. I've tried to help as many people as I can, just I mean, I love it. I'd love for, when people, I know if I'm in a bad spot, that I would like to have somebody there with me. So I try to every opportunity I can to help somebody out or ask that question, go shake his hand, go talk to him.
Yeah.
Like, the learning never stops. Learning is always in my head. Every conversation you can learn something from it,
Yeah.
and you're able to control what comes through it's like a filter in my
Yep.
head, the way that I look at it. Like, you can take it and you can process it to your mind if you want it to, how you want it to impact you, I guess. So yeah, no, it's been, I wouldn't change it for the world. I'm super stoked about the years to come. I mean, I'm looking at the longevity of this too, like training, the aspect. I know
Yep.
what it kind of feels like, when I mean, like this time of year, August, September, like it gets pretty tough. Guys start kind of wanting to go home, but man, I'm hungry for it. And if my body can hold up, my mental can. I always say you train the mind and the body will follow. So if
Yeah.
you
It's a great
train,
saying.
yeah, you train your mind to make it all the way from January all the way till September, your body will be right there with you, because you're doing everything that you need to be doing in before, and then control what you can. If
Yeah.
there's those certain
Definitely.
things that, like my meniscus, I tore it, and that was just something that just tweaked it just enough, and hurried and got the surgery done, 6 weeks, and was able to go to 2 or 3 at the end of this year. So man, it was a great year. There's a lot to look at, lot to take from it. So I'm just getting started.
Yeah.
That
Just getting
that just
warmed
set
up. And
me
that's,
off.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it, man. When you look at this last year for you and where you're coming from, I mean, you're just getting warmed up, man. This ball is just now starting to roll downhill, and the Thomas and Mack, I think, is well within your reach, and 2026 is going to be a big time breakout year. Not that this year wasn't, but yeah, the sky's the limit for sure. I mean, when I look at your last year, a couple things, kind of stand out like that. I got to just one. I mean, Livermore, California, that's a big rodeo. And when you talk about being in the young junior, mini broncs or whatnot, wanting to win a buckle, I mean, winning Livermore, California, that had to be a pretty good high moment for the year. So Livermore, and then being a Utah person, that's where I got to see, actually was there with you in the days of 47. Obviously we hadn't met at that time, but that's when I first saw you ride in person, and to win money there at kind of your state rodeo, if you will, or whatnot,
Mhm.
that had to be a big moment. I mean, was there one particular ride, one particular moment that really stands out, maybe one or two that was just kind of a major high for you?
Yeah, that's funny you say that about the days of 47 because in the junior bareback riding stuff
Yeah.
when I was younger, they used to do it when they first started doing it. They did a qualifier deal in the parking lot of the days of 47 arena, and it was a pony ride. And they did the day of the afternoon of the night rodeo, the pro rodeo, and the kid that won it got to ride in the big show with all the just as a exhibition ride. And
Yeah, I
um,
didn't realize it was in the parking lot.
yeah, yeah, kind of
That's
crazy.
cool.
Yeah, and so I mean that would have been 2018, I think, when I was doing the whole pony riding and everything, and yeah, I ended up being able to do that when I at that age to kind of go and just ride and be with I vividly remember Tim O'Connell. He helped me pull my rigging and do all that stuff when I was younger, and then yeah, so this year to be riding and make the short round and just had a little bad luck there with some equipment on the other side of things. But man, it was awesome. Like it was a dream come true for me just to be with those guys. But man,
Yep.
I was gunning for it all. I was hoping to win it. And
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I tell you what, that Utah pride kicks in there at the days of 47. That crowd, they erupt when they hear Utah at the end of your name. That's one
for
thing. I
sure.
mean, you get that anywhere, and I guess, to a point, but I don't know. I mean, that like like so like obviously Stetson, comes out on that wagon and everybody else. You could see the Utah pride from a rodeo perspective, and those fans know it. Those fans know that the obviously Texas and whatever else has all those flags at the ever opening night of the Thomas and Mack, at the NFR, but Utah's flags are starting to add up, and I think it's relevant there at the days of 47 for sure. So, yeah, so I just thought that had some of those, and then Salinas, I mean that's a awesome rodeo. That had to be good. I mean, was there one ride? I love this question, honestly, too, to any rodeo athlete, one ride, one run, but what would you say is your greatest bareback ride of all time? Is there one that stands out, that right now is that pinnacle and you're the high point?
Oh man, I mean, I feel like you can take something from every single one of them. I mean, if you're going like score wise, Castle Rock last year had some good luck there. I was 89, but like I feel like there's a couple other ones that like for mentally
You
just
felt,
like
yeah.
dude, that felt good and everything was right. Like I've been able to, like in college and stuff, I used to just kind of black out, if you will, like not be
Yeah.
able to consciously like breathe your way through it. So at the college finals, my last year, I made it like a goal to try to just breathe through your ride, like be conscious of it and working on the spurboard and stuff. And my second go around horse, I remember it was 7L9 squaw stomper, and that just it's a morning perf. Like you're bucking them at 7 a.m. at
Yeah.
the slack performance. And I remember like if they don't play any music, they don't play nothing. So you hear everything. And so that one it was huge for me. My mom was sitting on the front row, and I just remember actually doing it, and I was breathing. I could hear myself like able to consciously like setting my feet. And man, I mean, I was only like 81 points, but rode good. And then I got back and I was watching the video, and that was the only thing you could hear the whole time, like was me, like you could hear me breathing. So just, I don't know, little things like that. Like when I'm able to set my mind to something and like actually do it when my body's doing something else, like
Yeah.
when I'm riding and then I'm able to do another thing that I've been working on and working, and then to actually do it. Those are just wins for me.
Oh man,
Got to
yeah.
stack those little wins up.
And the whole process starts to slow down. I mean, I can't imagine, obviously, riding a bareback horse. I never did get on a bareback horse, unfortunately. I had a moment where I was supposed to, and unfortunately, it wasn't, kind of a long story, but I ended up not getting on one. But I always wanted to, man. But there's a lot going on and a lot of moving pieces. And so for that ride to be able to slow down, and that's why I like asking the question, right? Because to an everyday rodeo fan, they might think of, like I said, the high score or the, whatever that might be. But when you ask an actual ask the person, there's always that one special ride that just stands out for whatever reason, and then that says a lot, I think, about why that one was stands out for you. You know what I mean? Because you probably had that perfect moment and you probably went from one level to the next level, whether it was the very next horse, but maybe the next 15 to 20 horses, you really kind of came into your own and whatnot and went to a whole nother level. And so that's just really cool to see if that was like a turning point or whatnot. And man, you talk about 97 pro rodeos and even, had a little bit of a meniscus tear in there and stuff, but and managing not just your mental aspect, but your physical aspect, and so working with those guys over at Champion Living a bit, I believe, right, with Logan and Doug and stuff, and keeping your body where it needs to be throughout the year. I mean, what does that look like for you from like a training regimen? Like how often are you able to get into a gym, and when you're on the road so much, are you able to get into a gym? Are you, getting creative about it? How does that look for you throughout the rodeo season?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's not a matter if I'm doing everything. It's prioritizing.
Mhm.
Like I think I always said that motion is the lotion, when you're taking care of yourself, not just, nutrition or whatever, but just getting your body moving, you feel 1,000 times better. And yeah, being with those guys, great coaches, and Logan and Doug, got to go to OPA it was 23 when I got to go to their Optimal Performance Academy. And the OPAs, those are great schools because they really they're for guys that kind of have the start and kind of have the basics kind of down, but the guys that really want to take to the next level. And so that was part of. I mean, that's when I was in college too, and so from that point on, I was kind of started working with them and was with them for 3 or 4 months and kind of got the idea of what workouts need to be doing and how often and everything, just kind of the basics on you can from moving from football workouts, the
Yeah.
big bodybuilder to actual functional training was the biggest thing of working out for bareback riding. With
Yeah.
that, you go into the gym with I'm gonna get better bareback riding, not just getting big biceps.
Yeah. No,
So
exactly.
that 2023 changed that from they helped me with that, and then 4 months I was like, all right, I'm good. I should be good now. And throughout this year, I started doing just a certified personal trainer deal that I kind of been working on, and that's just really for me. Like I like to, I love to work out. It's huge for me. It's not like I said, it's not a matter if, it's when I'm doing it because it's a must have for me.
Yeah.
Like I got to. There's some people that they don't work out at all in the rodeo world, and that's what works for them. But for me and my mental, there's you can call it a day off, but I'm still running or jogging a couple miles. I try to formulate it to the rodeos that are set place for that week. Obviously, during the year, gets a little crowded, but still, waking up and just getting a little movement in. But yeah, so I mean, now, as of right now, I mean, you're just rodeos kind of slow down a little bit. So do a little more, strength more. But yeah, it never stops. It's always
Yeah.
wake up, get it done, and then take whatever's on for the day.
Yeah. And that's just gonna take you so far too, like make this career just last, so much longer too, keep your body in shape like that. And like I said, goes back to, I mean, the mental aspect of just getting a good workout in, goes 1,000 miles. I mean, that's in itself is drastically helpful too. So I love to see younger guys like yourself that are just really attacking this from a professional standpoint, not just the business side, the mental side, and then keeping your body in, as good a shape as possible to, I mean, you're getting on some fire breathing dragons. They're going to yank the tar out of you or whatnot. Your body needs to be where it needs to be, right? To go to make it throughout the entire 12-month season and to make it to the Thomas and Mack and then get through 10 rounds of the rankest bucking horses in the world. I mean, you doing that now, those little things now start to pay off come 8th, 9th, 10th round. And, and so looking into that in 2026 and what that looks like, I mean, obviously full steam ahead and that sort of thing. But what do you have like from now? Because this is kind of an unusual time, right? When you're looking at October 1st and the
Yep.
season wrapping up and then getting ready to go into these winter months and in the NFR. And unfortunately, you're at 40, but, coming off a great season and whatnot. How are you going to prepare yourself and get yourself ready for those winter rodeos and you get into Denver and Fort Worth and San Antonio? What do you envision of these next few months before you start making that run to the Thomas and Mack next year?
Yeah, I mean, being honest with you, I didn't qualify for Houston, so that was one of my things that, I mean, Houston's a pretty big deal in the world standings right off the bat.
Yeah.
So I'm actually starting it off. The season starts October 1st, and start working right to it. I'm up in Hempstead and then Rosenberg, and those are both qualifiers for Houston. So you win one of those, and you get right into Houston. So I figured, dang sure I'm gonna be doing that. So
Yeah.
we'll start off there, and then I mean, definitely I'm not definitely not stopping the work either. I mean, we'll go from there. I'll go down to Texas for a week, go to the Texas Circuit Finals just to be there and be around it, and then I'm up in the Heart of Texas Fair in Waco the 11th, and then entered Cindy Industry, California the 12th. So first 2 months of October, pretty much for me, like it's right, like I'm trying to make a little pop in it, might as well. And then pretty much until then, the second week, I mean, doing the day-to-day stuff, mentally and physically to achieve those goals that I got for myself, but nothing really until the circuit finals, the 7th and 8th in November. And then, probably a little bit of hunting,
Oh, good.
as the
Yeah,
October and November, get out, get moving, kind of set the mind free. And then, I mean, December pretty much is that's Vegas. That's Vegas time,
Yeah. You plan on being down there most of the time then for the NFR?
I mean, I told myself last year that I wasn't going to go back there if I wasn't riding there. But man, it makes you want even more just being around it,
Around it, yeah. Start envisioning for next year and everything else, and you're close. And well, I tell you, man, you've got a big time future ahead of you, man. I just appreciate the time, today and catching up. And like I said, hopefully I'd love the chance to see you, whether it's at the NFR or maybe in Denver when you're here and we can cross paths and catch up in person. Love to have you back on, as you start to get your 2026 season rolling. We can kind of keep tabs on you and watch your run to Vegas for next year, man. Cause I mean, like I said, there's a lot of great bareback riders in this world, but you're doing the right thing, going about it the right way. And it's just sky's the limit for you, dude. And I can't, wait to see where you go. But, thank you so much for joining me here today, man. And I look forward to kind of following your path into 2026.
Heck yeah, man. We'll fill that path up together. You know what I mean? I like keeping good people on my side. You know what I mean? It's having good people around you is huge for me too. So
yeah, for sure.
I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, hopefully one of these times, I'm sure it'll happen here soon. I'll be able to, because I don't know if you know or not, but I'm a PRCA announcer, so hopefully I'll be able to, announce your name here too, and really talk you up and sell it. But thank you so much, Darian, for being here with us today, man. Again, folks, this is the Woodshed with Cody Wood on the Equus Radio Network. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Make sure to keep an eye out for Darien Johnson. He's coming for you here in the world of bareback riding. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir.
If you enjoyed the podcast, let us know. Contact Cody Wood at cody@equistelevision.net. Thanks for listening, and join us every week right here on the Equus Radio Network.